Well, those are definitely the good days. Days we remember, days that make us appreciate what we have right now. Let's get right into the conversation. It's been a long weekend, and today on Arise 360, I've got a very special guest with me. Now, you have to love Jean Loius. A lot of people would say that watching you in Citation it just made that love even deeper. Tell me about that experience. I want us to begin with that before we talk about the Headies proper. That was the Kuli and Falayon film that you did.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, I didn't quite like you in the movie.
I
like you, but I didn't like your character.
Yes,
Tell me about that.
I hear you. I mean, for me, it was amazing to play Professor Lucien in Citation, because the subject matter is so necessary to just make it available everybody, just so we can change the mindset of the people, because abusing kids at school is not okay. So I know it was a very interesting and taboo subject matter, but I went for it. We had a great cast and crew. Of course, Temi did her thing. It was amazing to do that with her, knowing how much people would pay attention with, especially some of the physical scenes that we had to play. So it was great.
Okay, so quick question. You said, yesterday we talked about Nollywood, and you said this has been a part, in fact, you are Nollywood. You have been in the industry, you are in the industry, and this is something that you have made known to the world all the way back since 2012. Let's talk about that growth now that you are a huge part of. You also said you have a project that you're working on that comes out in October, although it's still a bit sketchy. Let's just reiterate some of those thoughts. The growth of Nollywood right now, and how essential certain factors are, putting certain factors in place to make sure it even gets to that place that we all wanted to get to.
Yeah, it's true. I went to Lagos and Abuja back in 2006, for the premiere of Fat Girls. That's when I was introduced to Nollywood, exactly.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, that is a memory. That is a memory with Monique. That is a memory. Okay.
And that's when I started to work with the Nigerian fellows. And then I did Jimmy Goes to Nollywood, which was for me a way to present Hollywood to the rest of the world. Which was acquired by Netflix at the time. Probably one of the first, if not the first project that was acquired by Netflix.
Okay.
And then for me it was normal to keep bouncing with some of those talents. The stories were interesting. I knew that there was potential with what I saw with the industry over there. I knew that there was a lack of maybe budget, lack of experience and everything else, but that wasn't a problem, because I understand that everything in life takes a little bit of time to grow.
It does.
And I'm actually surprised to see how quickly Nollywood grew. Some of those movies now are seen by millions internationally.
I agree.
And now we can take pretty much any Nollywood movie, top Nollywood movies, and show it to anyone. In Hollywood. Which is something that I wouldn't have done like 10 years ago because of the quality. Quality was not there.
I get that.
Now I think the quality is there, the stories are there, and the talents are getting better.
Yay.
And to have a country like Nigeria representing Africa, I think we can redefine the mindset of the people of the world when it comes to Africa. I think we can educate them via media, via movies. It's so powerful that I don't think that people understand how powerful that tool is. And that's why I'm encouraging some of those Nigerian talents to keep on doing their things, stay real to themselves, be as authentic as possible and as original, and keep that self-identity going.
I love it.
Keep your languages going.
Oh, that's
compromise.
Essential.
Don't compromise. Keep your cultures, keep your traditions, and keep on and invite people to come into you, to your space, because I think the African space is amazing.
It is.
And people are slowly discovering
that space.
So did Beyonce, so did a lot of other big acts. So let them come to you.
Okay, let them come. So here's what we're going to do now, Jimmy. We're going to take a quick break on Arise 360, but we are way far from being done. Right after the break, we're going to talk to Jimmy about his favorite moments from the Headies 2022. Who made you dance? Who made you jump? Who did you sing along to? Did you learn some new dance moves? We're going to take a look at all of these stories and more right after the break. welcome back to the show. You are still watching Arise 360. My name is Kachi Ovia, and of course, I've got Jimmy Jean Loius. Did I say it right?
Yes,
did I get
Jean
it?
Loius.
Jimmy,
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. So let's talk about the headies now.
Yeah.
It was a great show. Yes. I mean, I was too busy running up and down to actually sit, but I made sure that I was in there when Ashake was performing.
Okay.
And then Fireboy, Adekunle Gold. Okay, let me not talk about it. But for you, I gotta know, like, what was your highlight of the entire event?
Okay, first of all, I sat down for the entire show.
What?
Why? Because I go to the gym pretty much every day, and I play my music, my Nigerian music, to work out, like for an hour every day.
Yeah.
So I hear those music, but I couldn't put faces on those songs.
Oh.
All right. So I'm there now, seeing all those guys. I was like, whoa! and I think the moment that completely killed the show at the very beginning is for the best street hop artist, Goya. He came with an energy. I was like, whoa. So that started the whole thing for me. I had to stand up and started to dance straight away.
You see, at the point where, you know, they were going to announce the street hip hop category, I'll be honest, I was scared.
Yeah.
Because all of the songs in that category, you had Bella Shmurda in there with Cash App. That's a hot song.
Yeah.
You know, you had Koleyewo, you had Naira Marley, you had everyone in there. So, you know, people were actually confused, like, okay, who's going to win? But in my head, I just knew, listen, there's no way Neck-Tunes produced Ameno Amapiano was not going to take him that award. That song was so good.
That song was so good, but the energy they brought.
I know. Did you see how he did the little performance?
And for me, that was it. I was like, okay, this is the show right there. And then, of course, after that, you had the likes of even The Bench. I'm The Bench.
Yes, you know, you do have to say
classic, it. You know?
Yeah, he said you tell us
that. Good. And then, you know, Adekunle Gold. I mean, so many good performers, you know.
Yeah.
But the entire show, as far as performance, was amazing.
Yeah.
To me, you know, I could have stayed for another couple of hours.
I know.
Because I love it.
I know.
So yeah, big up to the Hades and yeah.
I know that's a really big deal. I mean, I feel like because we had to work. So production angle, because, you know, I was behind the scenes, you were like right inside, you know, there was a lot going on during the event, you know, having to organize the red carpet. There were so many people coming. At some point they had to literally just shut it down, and you know, everything had to just come to an end, and like everyone had to go into the hall. And then from the whole beginning, you know, there was a time that this event had to end. Like at some point when D'banj came out, you see, he called out P Square. You know, they just got back together, so fans were like, you know, perform.
You have to understand, my relationship is always via movies.
Yeah.
Right? First of all, Fat Girls, we had Two-Face, you know, African Queen, and then Everything But a Man, we had a bunch of songs from P Square.
Yep.
And P Square, they were just behind me, so I was like, okay.
Oh, that's amazing.
And with D'banj, we did something way back together in 2008 in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like people that you sort of know for a long time in different spaces, and to have them together in that kind of space and performing, it's
I know. It was definitely a breath of fresh air. I was really bummed when P Square couldn't perform.
Yeah.
They literally turned up the lights, you know. I feel like if they just gave us like another 10 minutes or 15, they would have done it. They would have definitely done
America,
it. Exactly.
You know? When it's time.
You know, they kept saying that. They kept saying, like, guys, this is in Nigeria. You cannot do that. And these are things that I think we're going to have to learn to get used to.
Now, we can talk about that as well. There are little adjustments that can be made.
Yeah.
Which doesn't take away how great the show was, but little things that can be tweaked just so we can have something a little bit more condensed.
Yeah.
And more structured, you know, just little things.
Okay.
But for me, the show is
it was amazing.
You know?
Okay, now, but before we wrap this up and take another break, I want us to talk about this crossover that we're seeing.
Yeah.
I tell you this, Jimmy, at the initial stage where this was announced, there was a big blowback. You know, I spoke about this on Arise 360 if you've been following the show, and there were so many comments like, "Oh my goodness, why are you taking this to Atlanta? This is a Nigerian show. You're going to make everybody fly."
Which was my first question as well, by the way.
Exactly. Everyone had that same question. But now looking at the show, it's happened. You know, people are in here at the Waverly Hotel, and we're all just relaxing from a very, very long night.
Yeah.
Do you think we need more events like this? You know, do you think, especially when it comes to film as well?
Yeah.
Because we have the AMVCAs back home. I would definitely say that's undoubtedly the biggest that we have. But in terms of a Nigerian creating something that is authentically Nigerian, but then it happens in another space where not only are you celebrating the Nigerian culture, but also foreign counterparts. Do we need that?
It depends on your agenda, on your long-term plan. If you come here to seduce an audience, knowing that you will go back home and try to get that audience back with you, I can understand that, because you attract them and now they're curious about you, so now they can come back to you and see what you're doing over there. But if it's to take up, such a huge event from back home and come here with it and stay here with it forever, I'm not too sure about that, because I think it's interesting to try to get people to come to you. Keep the strength from home.
I know.
Don't give it to them.
Don't give it to them.
But I understand if it's a strategy to globalize your
and expand.
It can make sense. But I think ultimately it has to go back home.
It has to go back home.
Home has to be home for it. It has to be at home. Or potentially you can have a couple of events, but it has to be, we have to have one at home.
So speaking about home, Jimmy, when next are we going to have you in Nigeria? Because we need to have this conversation again. Maybe after you're moving in October, right there in the studio. So when next are we seeing Jimmy Jean Loius in Nigeria? You know what I was just thinking? Now you spoke about fat girls. A sequel might not be a bad idea.
A sequel is not a bad idea.
Might not be a bad idea.
There's a script about a sequel, to be honest with you.
It was such a beautiful story.
Nike, who's the director, she has a script about a sequel that could potentially be shot in Nigeria. And I think she's shopping it. So we'll see. I mean, the likes of Netflix, Amazon, please keep
I'm going to also shout out to a Rice Play. Maybe you might just want to jump in on this. Right? A Rice Play might just jump on this one, because I think that's going to be an amazing. Jimmy Jean Loius, this has been absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for chatting me up on, the deets on the headies, everything that went down.